Hello, machine learning friends. It's Anthony, and we're back for another video showing some cool stuff in machine learning. So today I'm going to go over a simple app that I made that integrates machine learning in a fun way. I made this for my kids primarily, and it's called Balloon Attack. So the idea of Balloon Attack, as you'll see in a minute, is just to pop all the balloons before they get to the top. And the key cool thing about it is that it uses the webcam in order to track your actual movements, and you actually have to pop the balloons with your hands. So this program is a extension of this paper kapow, which is key points and poses as objects. And here's the original README. You can go to their GitHub page and learn all about how it works. You can see here in their little demo, the GIF, that it's running on the CPU inference at nearly 10 frames per second, which is really good. So if you just do a quick Google search for key points and poses as objects, you can bring up the archive paper, and then you can go and look at the actual paper right here. And this figure right here is kind of amazing. They're able to show the speed up time on their algorithm, and it's kind of an extension of some of the YOLO algorithms. So let's see this program in actual detail. So I already installed it on my computer. It's relatively straightforward. So I'm just going to open VS Code, and here's the README that we just looked at on GitHub. And the core of the game is actually this file game2.py. And what I'm doing is I'm basically taking the kapow human pose tracker and then wrapping it around a py game. So the Python game enables me to kind of set up a few things so that it's just easier to use. And you can see here at the top I'm importing the game. Some key things about the game are these different classes, these different images of balloons with different probabilities. I tried playing around with the alpha. I could not ever actually get it to work. Then as the balloon moves, it's just going to update. If it's a zigzag balloon, it kind of moves erratically. I have a background, which is going to load an image. In this case, I'm just doing clouds. I have a hand, which is just a sprite. And also my foot is just an extension of the hand sprite, but just has a different color. And also has a score multiplier. So the score multiplier means that if I pop a balloon with my foot, I get double the points. The sprite with text is used for showing some of the text within the game, like the high score, the speed, and so on. To get body poses, basically it's just going to pull in an image, then run using the kapow, and I'm just going to get this data, which is the output of the model, and then I'm going to post-process it, and then I'm going to get these poses. I'm just going to return that. Now here, just draw poses and positions, basically just setting the locations of these objects for the left hand and right hand, which is going to be those sprites that we saw earlier. Within the game, I initially start the game out where I enable the user to either touch that they want to start the game or they want to exit the game. Those are the kind of two menu options. If you touch one, then it goes into that particular mode. I also have this in mode, which basically just shows you your score versus the highest score. Now really the key thing is this game mode. So in the game mode, I load a collision sound. So if you pop a balloon, it makes a pop sound. I kind of load those sprites for the left foot, right foot, right? Kind of like the named sprites for the different body parts, because I want to put like a specific box for each of them. And I'm just going to load these into these, or make these sprite groups and then add them into it. Then basically it's in this loop, and while it's looping, it's going to say get body poses, get the pose it, return as poses information. Then it's going to look at some of the potential events that could be happening in the game. So like are you trying to exit? Also have this add balloon event, and so every time, basically every 5,000 milliseconds, it's going to trigger a new balloon. And as down below, as the game progresses, I actually make it so that they come more often. But that timer is just making events, and then I'm just checking for it. So here I'm saying add a new balloon, and then add it to the balloons group and also the all sprites group. I'm going to fill the background with text, and I'm going to scroll the background so it looks like the clouds are moving. I'm going to use this draw poses, pose set body positions, and all this is going to do is just draw a line basically for the between the different poses or different key points of the pose, and also update those sprites, those sprite kind of objects that I made for the different body parts, specifically the hands and feet. Next, I'm saying for each body part and body, and earlier we set the body as just a group that has your left hand and right hand, right foot, left foot. I'm going to loop over all of them and then just see if any of the balloons collided with the body part. If so, then I'm going to take some actions. I'm going to set the balloon to remove, update your score, potentially hit the body part multiplier. So again, that was the key thing. So if you pop a balloon with your foot, you get double points. Maybe we could do something fun in the future with like getting more points by popping it with your head. And I'm going to update your score and also update the score box. Here I'm going to update all the balloons' positions, just incrementing them up a little bit. Then I'm going to say for all the balloons, if the balloon's at the top, then you lost. Too bad. So the running goes to false, and it tells you your final score. Finally, this is the Python game or PY game stuff. I'm going to say for all the entities in my all sprites group, blitz them, which is just draw them to the screen. And finally, here's a few things that kind of make it more interesting. I say if the counter, which is just the increment counter over the game loop, if the modulus or the modulo when I divide it by 100 equals 99, then I'm going to increase the speed. I'm going to increase the default balloon speed. That's what's going on here. Then I'm going to change the rate at which new balloons come to subtract out of 350 milliseconds, which is making it a little bit harder. I'm going to update that timer and so on. Now, another thing just to make it more interesting, I said if your score is greater than 1,500, then I calculate this ratio, and potentially if I pick a number between 0 and 1 and it's less than your ratio, then it's going to start adding these extra balloons. Now the number of extra balloons it's going to add is also based on their score. So in addition to the random balloons that I get by incrementing at the specific time intervals, here I'm basically saying we're going to add random balloons now and then that weren't part of that timer. And in addition, as you get to higher scores, it's going to actually loop over adding several balloons all at once. So the idea is that if we add like 3 balloons at once, that's a lot harder. And that's pretty much it. So let's try it out. See if we can have some fun. Alright, here's that menu that I talked about at the beginning. So we have like 2 options. I can hit to start the game, or I can say I want to exit. So you can't see me, but I'm moving my hands right now up in the air. Also, I'm sitting down, and this is kind of maybe a critique of the Kapow paper, is that when you're sitting and I can't actually see my legs, it kind of makes some assumptions about them, which are just wrong. Like my legs are not up near my feet right now. So it's just interesting. So I'm going to hit start. So maybe a critique of how I set this up is that it kind of exits one game loop and starts a new one. And you can see the new one going now. And that kind of like transition between the two slows things down just a little bit. Now you can see here comes a balloon, and the objective is for me to pop it. So I need to actually move my hands to pop it. And normally it works a lot better when you're standing up. You can see the terminal kind of like scrolling through on the left there, which is kind of interesting because it's telling you, like what's the iteration number for the game loop. And you can also see that it's slowly getting faster as the game goes along. So I'm at speed 6. I'm at speed 7. Yeah, I can see making it a little bit harder. And they are going faster for sure. Now it's at speed 9. It shows you the change in speed. Also, to make it so you feel like slightly more paranoid or something, I made it so that the rate at which the clouds move in the background is a function of the game speed. So as the balloons get faster, like the clouds move faster as well. Yeah, so up to speed 12, it's definitely getting a little more challenging. So we had those 2 balloons almost at the same time. Just like I'm not doing anything, I'm just sitting here and I'm actually popping quite a few because of the kapow, kind of assuming that my feet are up near my chest, which is a wrong assumption. Alright, so you can see that random balloon is actually pretty tricky. And 6,100, it's okay. You can see someone else kind of... So once it's finished, it sends you back to the home screen where you can decide what you want to do. If I say I just want to exit, right, I hit to exit, and then we're done. So you can see it exited out of the program. So this is really kind of cool because I'm able to play this game. My kids love the game. Even had some of my other family members play it, and showed it to a bunch of people, and it's a lot of fun to play. And it's kind of amazing that you can get such good human pose tracking with just your webcam on your computer, and this kind of mimics maybe some previous technologies like the Kinect and other human pose tracking tools, but now we can do it with just a webcam and have a fun time. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching.